We have 4 matches today headed your way here inside the Paco Arena, Manila. First up, the SAVOUGE Aesthetic Spin Doctors against the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. The Spin Doctors looking to get another W, coming fresh from a 4-setter win packed in the middle of the standings and want some cushion for the semis. While the Sea Lions, on a losing streak, are looking to bounce back after handing yet another defeat to the men of the Signal Super Spikers. 2 veteran squads on the different ends of the standings finally face off, only here where power meets passion. Spikers Turf.
Welcome to the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference, all Pilipinas live. Our original triple bill becomes a quadruple header here today because of Typhoon Uwang. One of the games are scheduled, which is the game we're actually doing right here, right now, as we take a look at the games here for today. SAVOUGE up against PGJC Navy. And then we've got Alpha Insurance Protectors up against VNS. Then we have UST up against Signal. And finally, FEU up against Crisscross. But more than anything else, the game at hand, it's the Spin Doctors up against the Navy Sea Lions. Anthony's not here together with Coach Ronnie Magsana. Coach, this is a game that they were prepared to do Sunday. Now they're going to have to do it on a Wednesday.
For different reasons. For Navy, they're trying to play the spoiler's role. Very tough for them to still make it to the final, to the semi-final phase. Meanwhile, for SAVOUGE, a chance to build another winning streak, but more than that, the opportunity to inch closer to a possible spot in the semifinals.
If you really look at it, a must-win situation.
Correct.
Because they need to be able to stay in that top 4. Right now, let's take a look at the team standings. And if they win here today, they solidify their position. They'll move up to 4 and 2.
Simply because there are only 7 games per team. And out of the 8 teams that we're seeing here right now, only 4 will cross over to the next phase and will be joined by 2 foreign teams. One from Japan, the other, of course, from Australia. But for now, first things first, it's a sprint to get inside the semifinals.
Let's break down this particular matchup. Talking about SAVOUGE first, the team that still wants to be able to make it to the next phase of the competition. Let's take a look at what transpired in their last game.
After losing in 3 straight sets, they started out slow against the VNS Griffins. Griffins were able to extract the first set away from the Spin Doctors. But that clear sense of danger fueled a very large spark in the hearts of SAVOUGE. This is a back-to-back bronze medal team, the last 2 conferences of the Spikers Turf. This is bannered by decorated players, high-caliber players, and in this particular contest, even though they were outblocked, 2 categories that spelled the difference for them were service and, of course, reception, of which they're among the top teams. Eventually, Shawi Caritativo and the rest of SAVOUGE made sure that they will not go down for 2 consecutive losses and will resume their winning drive. But more than that, keep their hopes alive of making it to the semifinals.
Well, you just mentioned Shawi. We've got to talk about Shawi in detail here because we could see one of the key players in that victory that they had the last time out in. It's what they call the all-around effect of Shawi.
Oh, indeed. Double-double game for this minted, excellent wing hitter. We're talking about someone who's number 4 in scoring right now, number 7 in attack percentage at close to 45%. But one thing very, very good in terms of development for Caritativo, he's second to none in terms of reception efficiency at 63%. A big-time 2-way player, a clutch hitter at that. And these numbers is just a reflection on the development and maturity of this perpetual Altas standard. And right now is going to be the top gun, going to be called upon to once again help out SAVOUGE get past this next game.
Now it's time to talk about Navy on the other side of the fence. And this is a squad that still is to get their first victory here at this conference. And they'd like to be able to get it nonetheless over against a team that is trying to make it to the next phase of competition.
Had the chance to do this game in their last outing, and that was against the Super Spikers. They were very much in the hunt in the early stages of every set, but they will run out of steam in all the sets. Good thing about this game for them, the emergence once again of Joven de la Vega. Not so good thing about them in this particular matchup. They were no match in terms of offense and some problems with their playmaking, likewise with their floor defense, and eventually that led to another 3-set loss. Fourth straight loss for this proud team. But once again, the comeback of Joven de la Vega is the biggest story for the Sea Lions in this Invitational Conference.
Let's take a look at the numbers and the play of Joven de la Vega the last time out. It looks like it's, as they say, next man up as far as this team is concerned. And at least they're getting back a lot of the players who they know that they can count on eventually.
Well, this is someone you can really count on. Although he missed the entire Open Conference in his comeback here in the Invitational Conference against all odds. Maybe the banner line that best describes Joven de la Vega suited up once more. 13 points in 2 games after missing the first 2 matches. Exploding with 13, led the team in scoring, led the team in attack points, led the team in blocks. This is the former top gun of the Navy Sea Lions, out to reclaim that spot, or more than that, out to make the Navy Sea Lions the spoilers the last few games remaining for the Philippine Navy Sea Lions.
Always join us here on social media using the hashtag SpikerSturf2025 to be able to join us for all the discussions. Right now, we'll send you over courtside to find out who the starting 6 will be for our next match.
Good morning, ladies and welcome to the Paco Arena in the city of Manila. This is the 2025 Invitational Conference of the Spikers Turf, where power meets passion. We have 4 matches lined up for you for today, and for the first of these 3 matches is match number 18, features the SAVOUGE Aesthetic Spin Doctors. And the challenger, the defender of the sea, the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Introducing our officials for this match. Our first referee, Mr. Fernando Velarde, National Referee. Second referee, Ms. Justine Navidad, National Referee. Ladies and gentlemen, let's now meet the starters. First, for the SAVOUGE Static Spin Doctors. At number 1, Sharwin Caritativo. Wearing jersey number 4, Jill Torres. At number 6, Mark Calado. Wearing jersey number 14, John Michael Paglaon. At number 20, Angelo Reyes. And number 22, Ray Mark Beto. Their starting libero, number 5, Rico Marmeto. Head coach for SAVOUGE, Sidney Calderon. Calling on the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Beginning with the team captain, number 16, Seaman First Class, Greg Dolor. At number 3, Reynald Honra. Wearing jersey number 8, Abdul Bangkola. At number 15, apprentice seaman, Pet Peter Gill. Wearing jersey number 18, seaman second class, Joven de la Vega. At number 22, JV Malabanan. Their starting libero, number 13, seaman second class, Jack Kalingking. Head coach for PGJC, Mr. George Pasqua. And this is match number 18, preliminary round between the SAVOUGE Static Spin Doctors and the PGJC
As you take a look at the
Navy
starters there on your
Sea
screens, we are
Lions.
all set for a quadruple bill here this Wednesday. Again, if you're just joining us, SAVOUGE needs to be able to get this victory here to solidify their position in the top 4. And on the other side, you've got Navy trying to get their first win of the conference.
It was a huge break for all of our teams last time that the play date did not push through. In a compressed tournament format, the play dates have come one after the other. And I'm sure that right now, in terms of energy and preparedness, these two teams very much ready in today's collision course, as this is the first morning game that we will have in this invitational conference.
That's correct. But again, as you said, we need to be able to make sure that the games are done.
In preparation for the Southeast Asian Games for Alas Pilipinas.
Not to mention the fact that you mentioned it during the pregame, we actually have 2 foreign teams that are scheduled to come in for the next phase of competition. As we take a look at that first point, Delor once again doing what he does best.
This was a huge problem for Navy against the Signal Super Spikers, committing 27 errors, giving up a set plus 2 points, and that led to a disastrous finish against the Super Spikers.
Good pass. Once again, Delor thought he got his second point, but the defense holding sway. Free ball though. Malabanan is going to send that one too long.
1 service error, 1 attack error, equivalent to 2 points for 1 point lead for SAVOUGE. Look at the explosive players from SAVOUGE. Betco, Calado, Caritativo, among others.
Well, as you said, this is a squad that has actually got the bronze medal a few times, and they'd like to be able to make it to the next run, get up to at least the finals. Let's see. Slowly but surely building up their squad.
And of course, Trent says that Signal and Chris Cross will once again be on course. But let's see.
That's the level that these squads are trying to get to.
Wow.
And SAVOUGE right at the next level already.
Good change-up coming from Caritativo. Again in their last game. Unbelievable marksmanship for the number 4 scorer. Caritativo, 13 of 21. Caritativo also with 16 of 19 excellent receptions. Unheard of.
Three-2 is our tally. Navy with an opportunity to tie things up, and they do. We are deadlocked at 3.
There's no doubt that Joven de la Vega has regained his fitness. Gassed the last 2 sets against Signal, but he played so well in the first set especially, knocking in, I believe, at least 5 points in set 1 alone.
That's why you can see Coach George a little bit more confident now with the lineup of his squad. But De La Vega not able to get enough power behind that one.
The emergence of this young man, Raymark Betco, has made this team more formidable. Number 2 in scoring right now for them, 60 points, and this comes after sitting out game 1 of the Spin Doctors.
That stays just in.
That over ball leading to that free point. And out of the first 5 points of SAVOUGE, 3 of those have come from errors from the Sea Lions, so now behind by 2 points.
That's a poor serve, which is going to cut the lead here to just 1. Couple of service errors already for both these squads to start things off. Maybe trying to get used to the morning play.
From Agusan del Norte, Marty Betco.
Stepping on the line, they say. That is considered a service error.
That's clear, yes.
Had half a foot into that court. Good defense. From the back row.
Wow.
With a lot of power, Betco.
More than a lot of power. In terms of floor defense, not in the top 5 of the Sea Lions. Floor defense was a huge problem for them. Back row defense was porous for them in the last part of that match against the Super Spikers. Second service error of set 1 for SAVOUGE.
That one wasn't even close. That one was way off to the right. Still a 2-point lead by SAVOUGE. Boom!
And again, passing coming from Sherwin Caritativo, leading to that quick play for a 3-point lead as we reach the first technical time.
back inside the Paco Arena, Manila for the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference 2025. The pressure is building up on the side of the SAVOUGE Aesthetic Spin Doctors with 2 defining games left towards their goal of securing a spot in the semis. And on that note, in my conversation with SAVOUGE head coach Sidney Calderon, complacency cannot be on their side, something they exhibited in the first set of their match against the VNS. A slow start they do not want to repeat. Going against another veteran-composed squad today, ayaw na raw nilang sayangin yung magandang reception nila, and they wish to translate their trainings to a better ball distribution today. Back to you, Anthony. Ronnie?
Thanks a lot, Denise. It is now a 4-point lead, and I think that poor start, which they experienced the last time out, Coach Ronnie talked about that as well, is now a thing of the past.
Right. Understanding that the alley getting to the semis is within reach. Very tight alley to get to, but they are almost there.
Not to mention the fact that when you get there, Coach, you want to be in good form.
Exactly.
You don't want to just sneak into the next phase.
You always want to maintain that certain standard of which has given you 2 straight bronze medal finishes, string of 2 points. Forces the hand of Coach George Pasco to call ceasefire.
Hindi natin kinuha. Ang pinakang gawin ninyo, magdidepensa kayo sa block, sa likod, balik muna kayo dun sa base position ninyo. Gusto niyo dumipensa pero ang galaw. Hindi, basa lang sa pagdepensa. Okay, kailangan natin rumisib din kahit pa paano. Kasi malaking bagay yun. Kaya titignan ninyo, yung out of system nila dito binabato sa 4. So ready lang tayo sa mga drop ball. Tara. Go, basahan muna natin. PGJC!
Very well said there by Coach. Thing is, can they make the adjustment? We'll find out.
Floor defense continues to hound. The Sea Lions are now behind by the biggest deficit, down 5 at this stage.
SAVOUGE already doubling up here on Navy. And they've got a chance to increase it. That one just goes a little bit wide.
And 4 of the first 6 points at least of the Sea Lions have come from errors by SAVOUGE. They have 2 attack points, one from Delor, the other from Joven de la Vega, but they need more.
Well, you can't just rely on mistakes from your opponent if you want to be able to come up with a W. Boom! Reyes there with a point.
What about Paglaon? Just making sure that the offense is going to be hard to guard. 24-year-old 5'10" standout from San Pablo City. Comes out of the NCAA program of Emilio Aguinaldo College.
Going to the pin, that's going to work.
Very strong hitter who scored in double figures in at least 1 game.
Oh, they say it
For
goes
the
long,
but
Coach.
that shot goes out
Ouch.
once again. Yes.
Rakiza thought he got his first point.
Ouch with Murtayulit.
And you can see him grimacing there, saying, I thought I had it. Unfortunately, no. This time they go back to De La Vega. But the defense was ready. The right place at the right time.
Nice.
De La Vega once again. And he gets denied, but they're going to
touch.
say a violation.
2 touches for De La Vega. That touch for Betco. Incidentally, playmaker Bangcola, who's been under the radars, Jairami and Louis Cudadera, have been the 2 main setters initially. From Letran, 24 years old, Abdul Bangcola from Antipolo, Rizal.
Serve from Rakiza will go long. Those are mistakes they cannot afford at this stage.
A 27-point scorer so far, who's ranked number 34. Remember, they committed 27 errors against Signal in 3 sets. And that's a lot.
Quick play. And it's going to work. That was close to being dug.
If their floor defense is up to par, easier for Bangcola to be able to set up his 2 top hitters, Dolor and De La Vega. Perhaps activate also Peter Kerr at that middle spot.
Here's Delor with the serve. It's a good one.
Wow.
Good reception. That's going to be out.
And again, the power. Testing the floor defense The Sea Lions, who have yet to show us the teeth of their blocking. Something that has to be a constant for them. Blocking their number 8. Dead last. SAVOUGE 33 kill block siding to this game to 16 of the Sea Lions.
On the outside once again. Kale thought he had a good block, but unfortunately, it'll fall out.
On the rebound, once again, Shawi adjusting. Reading that Kale was right there.
Now a 7-point lead opened up by SAVOUGE. That's going to be their 3rd service error, though.
Their 4th, actually.
Oh, 4th already.
And their 6th error out of the 9 points of the Navy Sea Lions. 3 attack points. 2 from De La Vega, 1 from Greg Dolor.
They're helping Navy stay in this game. But Navy's going to come up with a poor serve, sending that one long, which is going to bring us to our 2nd technical timeout. It's 16-9.
Siyempre, ang top 5 players ko, siyempre, since high school na teammate ko, si Shawi Caritativo, sobrang proud ako dyan. Secondly ko is si Mark Scalado. Isa rin siya sa nag-angat ng bandera ng SAVOUGE. And pangatlo is si Sanama. Happy ako sa kanya na bumalik siya. And pang-apat, siyempre, hindi mawawala yung idol ko, si Kuya Mark Espejo. Number 5, which is my number 1 idol, si Kuya Brian Bagunas.
And back to the action now here. A 7-point advantage opened up by SAVOUGE here in set number 1.
3 key reasons. 1, SAVOUGE is hitting at 77% at 10 out of 13. 2, Navy is only at 3 out of 14 for just 21%. The third reason is floor defense that has hurt the Navy Sea Lions. Walang blocking, mabula ang back row defense, baon ka ng 7. 8-6 lamang ito kanina. Since the first technical timeout, 8-3 run here coming from SAVOUGE. Pati ako nalito. Wala pong ano mo.
That's right, there was no whistle.
Yet.
But it was, well, it actually took some time before the whistle came, so I guess they were a
Akala
little
mo
bit
meron
surprised
na,
as
oo.
well. Ooh, that serve stays in, it clips the line.
Why not?
That was right in front of Coach George. He's going to call for a challenge here. Ball in, ball out, but let's see. That happened right in front of him, but again, that wasn't a strong serve, Coach.
Right.
That was a floater, so that should have been an easy call, really, for our linesman there. Let's see. Ball in, ball out is the challenge here. Well, maybe the coaching staff and even some of the players saw something that our linesman didn't. Prompting a challenge here from Coach George. Pauline there looking at the spot.
Of course, Coach George, like many others, traces the roots from the FEU volleyball program. One among many that has strengthened volleyball in the country.
I'm not quite sure if they can actually see it though, or if they're blindsided by the camera, because you do have the coaches walking around that area as well. So just as we presumed, it was in. As we said, there was really not too much space behind that one.
Smiling while serving, JC Narciso, the 25-year-old product of Perpetual Altas under the Sami Akailar tutelage.
That was way in. That wasn't even by the line. But great reflexes there, but in the end, Navy's gonna pick up their point.
But again, the effort in terms of keeping that ball in play. Even though they gave up that last point, still you like the effort, the double effort, diving all over.
Much better serve that time from Navy.
Oh, mishit.
That was
What a net
clearly
touch.
Oh, they're gonna say net touch. That they might want to challenge.
Player number 1, says the first referee. Oh, they will challenge. Called against Mark Paulino.
And Paulino looked over at his coach and said, nope.
Net fault ang challenge sila, hindi block touch, net fault. Net fault.
So it's not a block touch, it should be a net fall challenge. There we go. So they changed the challenge. It was originally block touch. Now it is net fault. Let's see if this time we can actually see it, aside from just using our top camera. Here it was. Ooh, there was a net fault.
Very clear. Ang bilis mag-rotate ng servers dito sa SAVOUGE.
They've now opened up an 8-point lead, which is now cut down to 7 with another service error. Those service errors are the only things keeping Navy competitive here in set number 1.
5 service errors given up. Total of at least of 8 errors, perhaps, for SAVOUGE.
Combination play works.
Early entry for Mads Gampong. Former standout of National Youth under Coach Dante Linsenuri. Also a UAAP champion, by the way.
And there is another service error.
6 and counting.
We're starting to sound like a broken record here. But again, despite all of that, you can see the coach is disappointed. Still with a 7-point lead and 6 points away from taking set number 1.
Could have been done already.
That's true. Opportunity here. Rakisa had to make contact with that one. Goes at it
Wow.
once again and gets denied.
That was Reyes. Rakisa went away from the line, but Reyes was right there for the ambush. Very tall Reyes, right there.
Bangcola and De La Vega back in.
Angelo Reyes, only 22 years old, from Mandaluyong, from UE. Played for Martella Meats. Also had the bronze in the UAP. Oh, tough.
Well, from the back row, almost scored. Defense able to react, and once again, another score here.
formerly of the Super Spikers of Signal. A Spikers third champion is Mark Calado, number 1 in scoring right now with 74 points. And you're talking of someone who's perhaps the most decorated player here for SAVOUGE. Tremendous pickup for this
Tayo, auto
franchise.
system na yung pinapalo ng kalaban, no? Pag dumidepensa tayo, kailangan mas mababa tayo sa bola. Paano tayo didepensa na nakatayo? Ang trajectory ng bola, pababa. Di ba? Awkward dun sa position nyo, dun sa bola dumarating sa inyo. Paano tayo makakadepensa? Tatapat ba ng kalaban ng bola sa inyo? Iliwas yan. Tayo, maghanap tayo sa bola. And ang ginagawa natin, naghihintay lang tayo eh. Hanapin nyo, ibibigay ng kalaban na tapat sa inyo yan. Yan. Ginagano na ng kalaban, no?
Huwag natin bitawan ha, huwag natin bitawan.
Sarap na rin yung moral
Floor defense, blocking. Concerns here for Navy here in set 1. Calado, MVP in the juniors in season 18. First best outside spiker also. MVP in the PNBF. Best outside hitter when he played for Signal. That good.
Attack there, slowed down. Chance once again, this time from the back row. And they score once again. SAVOUGE now just 3 points away from taking set number 1.
Incomplete control. Very explosive. Too many scoring options.
(22-12) is our tally. Not the best of receptions there. De La Vega, Doug. There's Calado once again going cross court.
67 attack points heading to this game. Is Mark Calado. The last game he was 16 of 33. Fired 16 points. 16 of 33. Almost 50% accuracy.
De La Vega will get that one to score.
2 in the set for De La Vega, 1 for Delor. But they need more the rest. Errors from SAVOUGE.
Exactly.
We'll see that later after the set comparative numbers in terms of attack points.
As you said, this set should have been over. Could have been over. Rakisa with the serve. That's a much better one.
Very quick set by Paglaon. Blockers, at least a second late. 11 set points for Calado and company.
And Kaling King was actually there. Just couldn't control it. Just too much power behind that one.
Petro, Maritativo, Calado.
Take your pick. Here's another service error, this time from Calado. Wow, they got to 14 with all of those service errors.
Yes. 7 service errors, half of their total output.
They wouldn't have gotten to double digits. Boom. Betko says, let's end this first set as quickly as we possibly can. Watch it once again. Perfect setup. Back set.
On the back set, yes. No two-man wall. Isolated against a single blocker. And Betko says, on to the next.
First set goes to SAVOUGE as expected. They won it by 11, but it could have actually been much more easier if you want to use it that, if you want to term it that way, Coach.
Easier, faster, more seamless. But spraying a lot of errors, totaling 9. Eventually kept the Navy Sea Lions alive. Imagine this, Navy with only 4 attack points in set 1. A testament to the net defense 1, to the floor defense 2 of SAVOUGE. But all in all, it was a one-sided first set that we saw at 74% hitting for SAVOUGE. 74%, hardly missed. Navy only 18%. And these numbers definitely perfect illustration as to how SAVOUGE was the dominant team and as to how the Navy Sea Lions scored their 14 points.
A lot of gimmies there, but in the end, it was still SAVOUGE taking set number 1. What an overpowering performance, and let's see if that set things up here for the second set for SAVOUGE, or if Navy can come up with some points of their own.
Right. They scored the first point, but that was the last time that they led. Because after giving up a service error, SAVOUGE went on a tear. But remember, it was only an 8-6 scoreline when we reached the first technical timeout. Tapos, umarangkada na. At hindi na nakapuntos in terms of attack points ang Navy kasi hindi na nila mabuhay yung bola sa kanilang floor defense at yung blocking nila ay nabubutasan ng gusto ng multiple options itong si Paglaon.
Let's see if they can right that sinking ship for the Navy.
Pero in terms of depth of roster, definitely SAVOUGE has had a fantastic build-up heading to this conference.
And they've been doing it ever since they entered the league. Slowly but surely, they were getting the players that they knew that they wanted.
Well, before we had so many teams diluting the talent pool. Pero ngayon, kumonte, so yung availability nandyan.
And SAVOUGE starts off on the right note, picks up the first point.
Unbelievable vertical there. Was that Betko again? My goodness. 2 very tall blockers. Quite slow to close the wall.
Much better reception here. Delordo is going to go a little bit wide. Could have easily been 1 each. But it's 2-0 here for SAVOUGE.
As a team, the Navy Sea Lions had 34% in terms of attack rate heading into this game.
That was kept alive, and Betko is going to score. Off that reception. How do you score that?
Against the floor defense. Once again, because the coverage was not there.
That was an attack. So
it was a dig.
You can't count that as an attack point. Finally getting into the column. That's their first point.
After being down by 3 on the back set, Delor scores his second point off the block point coming from the former King Tamara. Another quick play by Reyes this time.
Delor not able to even get into position. They attack him right away. It's 4-1.
When you guard the wing hitters, then suddenly Paglaon locates Reyes, making it simply difficult to keep that ball alive.
Well, using the blocker once again. This time, De La Vega.
De La Vega coming up his best scoring game, first double-digit game for the pride of USLS. Toto De La Vega.
That stays inside. It's an ace. Finally, they said, we're making our own points.
And Castel came off the bench today. Number 47 in scoring with a total of 18 points heading to this match. 13 attack points, 2 blocks, and his 4th service ace, by the way.
Well, they're gonna say that was a violation. And an early timeout here for SAVOUGE.
Guys, nakinig, alam nyo anong problema natin? Hinayaan lang natin silang humabol. Lamang natin kanina, 3, 2, tapos hinayaan lang natin humabol. Okay? Babawi ang mga yan kasi second set, talo sila ng first set. So dapat tayo, nanalo na tayo, dapat tinataasan natin level natin. Dapat maging sigurista tayo. Ha? O ano bang goal natin? Manalo. Hey! One team! 5% lang.
Let's take a look at that last play. And here was the violation.
Clear as day.
So they say he held on to the ball a little bit longer.
Too long. Turned out to be a scoop shot.
He thought it was basketball. That was a layup. Coming off that timeout, that's exactly what their coach wanted.
Giving up a 4-1 run after being ahead at 3-0. Restoring a 1-point edge on that zero-tempo play.
Much better reception. They go to Rakiza. Going right down the middle. That's out once again.
A perfect opportunity to score as the defense was converged in front. Although the floor defense is much better here in the set so far for Navy.
Coach George was thinking of challenging, but looked over at his coaching staff, and his staff said no. Back up to a 2-point lead. Cut down to 1 here.
Bangkola now activating Peter Kiel. Probably his 3rd point of attack. 1 point Kiel, 1 point for Castel, 1 point for Dolor, 1 point for De La Vega. Better offense for Navy here in the set. They're just relying on mistakes coming from SAVOUGE.
Definitely a better set. And they come up with a block there.
Fired up is Bangkola. Tied at 6. So this is a 6-3 run here for Navy. A run that we did not see in the previous set.
A little bit of concern now on the face of Coach Sydney. From the back row, that was a solid one. One of the more solid shots I've seen here this conference. And from the back row nonetheless.
All the way from CSB.
One-point lead by SAVOUGE. That was easily blocked. There were 2 men there waiting for that one.
Straight to the opposite hitter, ambushed in midair. 2-point run, 2-point lead. First technical timeout at 8-6.
You're still watching the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference 2025 live here inside the Paco Arena, Manila. PGJC Navy head coach George Pasqua knew there is a heavy need to mix things up for his crew. And one thing they're trying out today is to change the position of Captain Greg Dolor, who initially is an outside hitter but had to change to being one of their middles today, an old position he used to play in FEU. If there's one good thing about being one of the veterans, that is learning to be an expert in whatever position you play. Pero aminado si Greg, he's still adjusting, lalo na't matagal siyang di nakapaglaro at training, given that he had to miss their last conference because of military schooling. Anthony Ronnie, kung may gusto rin daw siyang ibalik, it's the essence of enjoyment and celebrating each point they get. Back to set 2.
Well, they'd like to be able to celebrate a little bit more, but they need to score some points. Right now, they are down by 3.
Score some points is something that Betco has done well. Quietly, he has erupted for an 8 of 11 clip, good for 73%.
That is an exceptional rate.
Yes, yes, yes. Ever since he came into the radar after missing out their first game, did not play.
Back row, Delore, Doug.
Right.
A little bit of miscommunication there defensively.
4-point run since the score stood at 6-all. Timeout here for Coach George Pascual.
Say mine, pre. Kakarambola.
Paulit-ulit tayo, boys. Gusto nyo dumipensa, pero wala kayo sa base. Kung gusto nyo dumipensa, balik muna kayo sa base ninyo. Bakit ba ang kulit ninyo? Pag nandun yung bola sa kabila, balik sa base, and then basa ng bola. Bakit ang galaw nyo sa depensa, kaya ang bola hindi ma-establish? Ngayon, short ang bola, hindi naman madadown the line yan. Kunin nyo na dito sa cross block, pabayaan nyo rin mahina yan. So, kunin nyo yung pinakang strong attack ng kalaban, which is yung cross court. Diba? Basa lang ba? Go! Let's go! Ryan!
Let's go, PGJC!
Quick timeout there coming off the technical timeout. Coach George not happy there with what he sees, especially the fact that it's now a 4-point lead opened up by SAVOUGE. That's what you want to see coming off a timeout.
There's one thing that's been very evident. It's Bancolo has been the energy player here for the Sea Lions. And they always want someone with that kind of energy, even when things are not going too well. Santos comes in for national team veteran Jack Kalinking. World Championship veteran.
He's at the right spot, just couldn't handle it.
It's really very hard if the blockers are not too effective, really. You will always be there at the back row, but the power and the force that these hitters are generating makes it so hard to keep that ball in play.
One of the few service errors we've seen for SAVOUGE here in the second set.
Right? And remember, that may not be a good option for them simply because this is not an overwhelming lead.
Unlike in set number 1. Let's see, they come up still with an overpowering shot up the middle.
Is that Reyes again?
Yes, it is.
On-point Reyes once again. Right where he wanted it.
Boom! Lada was waiting for that one.
Pick your poison. Pin hitters or Reyes, who just scored in the previous point. From a 6-all score line, 7-2 run here coming from SAVOUGE. Read by Caritativo. But Bancolo, as we mentioned earlier, the energy guy, the glue guy. For the Navy Sea Lions, scoring on the dump. And once again, trying to fuel some more fire in the hearts of the Sea Lions.
Quick reply, doesn't work. Just sending that one over. Ooh, wow, going down the line. That's going to bring up his already exceptional percentage rate.
Yes, yes, probably over 80% at this point. Earlier, most of his points came at that right side, that right pin. But also in the open, he's deadly. Referring, of course, to Betco.
That's right. They go to the opposite end, De La Vega and Castel were there waiting for it.
Finally, they stop Betco. They get to point number 10. A reverse set. Is that Castel? It's probably their #1 option in terms of net defense. given the size and length. And then you have Caritativo once more. You see?
Who has been quiet after a decent first set. And now he comes up with some big shots.
Betco, Calado, Caritativo. We haven't even seen much of Torres yet.
As we said, slowly they've been able to stack up.
Second point for Bonjomar Castel. 1 service ace, 1 slide play, 2 points.
Lead is still at 4. Serve here for Navy. Boy, they really have the defense baffled here.
Napaglaan has done a masterful job. Shifting, changing gears, different points of attack. Second technical timeout, ahead by 5 at this stage.
So I'ma love you every night like it's the last night, like it's the last night.
If the world was end, then I wanna be next to you. Die With Smile by Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga. And die with a smile. If the world was end, then I'd rather be next to you.
New season, bigger stories. Aces returns for season 2, only in the Pilipinas Live app. Download and register now and stream all Pilipinas Live originals anytime, anywhere, on any device. Back to the action here. 16-11 Savage with the lead here in the second set. They took the first set 25-14. And Narciso checks in together with Gampong. So now Coach Sidney using some of the players on their bench.
Again, given the compressed schedule. Of course, sometimes it's situational. But some coaches have also been trying to lengthen the rotation to keep their players fresh.
Well, especially for Savage, because they're expecting to make it to the next phase of competition, where things will get even tighter, especially with the 2 foreign teams coming in.
What a serve.
Chance for them here to get to a point. On the back row, one of the best points we've seen here so far this morning.
The only rally we've seen so far up to
That's
this
true.
point. That's excellent floor defense coming from Santos.
And it's still ongoing. That's going to be close. Rakisa denied.
Oops. Greg tried to save that last play.
Siguro. Okay lang.
17-12. Trying to inch closer here is Navy.
Serve.
17-13 is our tally.
Different combination for Coach Sidney. Question is, will this work?
Still a comfortable 4-point lead. Rakisa now with the serve. Boom!
Calado. Explosion coming from the #1 scorer. Mark Calado head into this game, 67 attack points. #1. 6 blocks. 1 service ace. Good for 74 points. 16-point game in their last win.
He said, you haven't been calling my name too much here in the second set.
Sabi mo, kung magsasab, papuntay na lang yung players dito. Kahit hindi nasa main na.
The MVP in the PNBF. Decorated player. Spikers Turf champion.
Ready?
Going to a different direction.
Dolor hanging in the air.
Oops.
Gets stopped.
Overreaching coming from, is that Calado? Yes.
It looks like they're going to challenge that. So they're going to challenge that overreaching call here by our first referee. Coach Sidney looking at it from the vantage point of the bench. Felt it was worth challenging.
Call will stay. Incidentally, earlier it was Luis Gamban with that very strong serve for SAVOUGE.
Now 3 players coming in here for Coach George. Still a 4-point advantage enjoyed by SAVOUGE here as we get to the business end of our second set.
As they say, close to winning time.
They need a good serve here. That's a great serve, especially coming off the bench. But scoring once again is SAVOUGE. That was Gampong.
This is someone who has played abroad as a reinforcement, by the way. Who's always played behind the shadows of more illustrious teammates, but definitely, given the chance, can really hurt you. Down the line shot coming from Mads Gampong from Tawi.
After that point, he gets sent back to the bench. Instant offense for Gampong, and now he takes a seat. That'll work for Navy.
Good passing coming from Rakiza. Very tall setter, Saria. By the way, for the Navy Sea Lions, no Pudadere at no Hairami for Philippine Navy.
Back to the pin and back to the scoring ways for SAVOUGE.
That will be called out.
Ooh!
Rare miss coming from Calado. Was wide open.
One of the few times he has missed from there.
Down to 3.
This is actually the closest that Navy has come in quite a while. And the lead's back up to 4.
Up to 4.
Here comes De La Vega and Bancola back. Well disguised, but In the end, the defense was still there. Against one blocker, Navy will deliver.
Good activity here coming from Greg Delor. Very much alive are the Sea Lions here in set 2. In set 1, it was a runaway win for SAVOUGE, but not in this set. Navy continuing to threaten, trying to breach this 3-point barrier late in the set.
That's why Coach Sidney utilized one of their timeouts early in this set. Point still alive here. One hand set.
Oh,
Not the most conventional of ways, but still. And there, they're going to say, stepping.
stepping on the attack line. That's the first fall. That was the second one. I didn't see the first. I saw the second. Either way.
Take your pick.
Yes, yes. Somebody crossover, the other stepped on the attack line.
It is now a 4-point lead once again. Navy needs to be able to come up with a strong push here, or else the second set is done. That's a start. Is there going to be a challenge here?
I believe they took it back. Look of concern on the part of Coach Calderon, Coach Sidney. Actually, there's no pressure here for the Navy Sea Lions.
Violation is going to be called there. That might be on Kiel.
Exchange of side outs will favor SAVOUGE.
Clearly a violation there, and SAVOUGE 2 points away from taking set number 2. But the Sea Lions will not go away quietly.
Double-digit game the last outing. See the talent level of Jovan Delebrega. He will just keep getting better and stronger. More matches, the better he will be.
But he comes up with that service error. It is now set point, and a timeout will be called by Coach George.
Sige lang, boys. Hindi natin maiwasan yung mali, pero kaya natin bawasan. Okay lang ba yun? Kasi 2 points pa lang ginagawa natin, sumaside lang tayo. Normal lang yung mali, pero huwag naman sunod-sunod. Lalo na mga crucial point, naghahabol tayo, kailangan natin pumuntos. Kailangan kapitan natin yun. Okay? Liwanag, saan natin umumpisahan yun? Sa service muna, kunin natin sa block. Tapos huwag niyong isasagad dito yung pivot block. Puro cross court lang naman lahat ng pinapalo. Isang down the line yung pinalo nila pero outside. Bakit kinukuha natin sa down? Ang short ang bola, hindi naman mapapalo ng down the line yun. So pagka short ang bola, sa cross court tayo, cross defense tayo, ha?
O, go tayo, wawag natin bibitawan. Let's go, PGJC! Baby, huya!
Some technical corrections by Coach George in terms of blocking.
So officially 23-19 is our tally.
Super talent. Rakisa once again has been solid with his passing. Bangkola, big shot in the arm in terms of playmaking.
So now they need a good serve.
This is definitely more attack points, not a 4 attack point set for Navy compared to what we saw in set 1. It's a big time point coming from Paglaon. Nobody guessed what he was about to do.
And it's now set point. And I think a commanding 2-0 lead. SAVOUGE Aesthetics. That still comes back. Delor gets denied. Another overpowering performance here put together by the Spin Doctors.
Winning the big points, sensing danger, then they play better. And in the end, back-to-back points will seal the deal and put them 2 sets up against a hard-fighting team of the Navy Sea Lions.
Got it going on, got it going on, got it going, got it going, got it going, got it going. Bips in the crib, man. Drop it like this.
Right now, let's take a look at the highlights of set number 2, which went to SAVOUGE 25-20.
Definitely a much better set for the Navy Sea Lions. Keeping themselves alive. Not because of the many errors from SAVOUGE, who only had 5 errors in set 2. But they played much better. Bancola, De La Vega, Castel, Delor. And of course, the floor defense helping them out. Blocking was more evident. But in the end, it boiled down once again to more potent offense here for SAVOUGE. And I'd just like to point out that Paglaon has done a masterful job making it difficult for the defense of the Sea Lions to stop them. In terms of much-needed stops, in terms of overcoming a small deficit, and eventually still winning by 5 points against the hard-pressed Navy Sea Lions. Better attack points number for Navy, only had 4 in the first set. But right now, you have here SAVOUGE with 32 points in terms of attack points in the first 2 sets compared to 16 for the Navy Sea Lions. If they are to stay alive in this match, that attack count has to be a constant, but their defense has to be much better here against multiple points of attack, the many scoring options of Paglaon and the rest of SAVOUGE.
The 2025 NBA Emirates Cup is here on Signal. Watch the action this November to December on NBA TV Philippines and Pilipinas Live. We're all set here for set number 3. SAVOUGE needs this victory to be able to stay in the top 4. That's why they've come here with a real purpose, making sure they come away with the victory. So far, so good. Taking the first set, 25-14. Second set, 25-20. Leading scorers there, you can see. 7 points for De La Vega. Betko with 11 already. He's breached double digits.
5 points in set 1, 6 points in set 2. Dolor, meanwhile, 2 points in set 1, 5 points in set number 2. Couple of 2 points, 2-pointers coming from Dolor in sets 1 and 2. Again, they need Castel. They need Peter Kiel, who had 4 points at the end of set 2. And even some dumb plays from Bangkola to keep the defense of SAVOUGE guessing, or rather guessing. Let's see how Navy will start out set number 3. They did not taste the lead at all in that set 2 loss, by the way. And that wire-to-wire effort coming from SAVOUGE. Only 39% attack clip. Meanwhile, for SAVOUGE, after about 70% in set 1.
Well, Navy scores the first point here, similar to what they did in set number 1.
SAVOUGE was at 77% hitting accuracy in set 1, down to 39%. Let's see if the defense continues to improve here for the Sea Lions. We're up to a 1-0 lead.
Betko once again. That stays in. It's 2-0.
Betko went for that soft hit. Rakisa has been at the forefront of the floor defense of Navy. Biggest lead for the Sea Lions in this set and in the match.
That is right. They've hardly had a taste of the lead, and let's see if they can extend it even further. No, says Reyes. Kalada now with the serve. We're going to say it's a violation there on Reyes.
Still a 2-point lead here. It was Dolor who made that last point happen against Reyes. Blocking of SAVOUGE so far, 4. Navy with 3 kill blocks throughout the first 2 sets.
Caritativo now starting to get back into the scoring act.
And this is where Paglaon must locate Caritativo while he's still in front. Get him his touches. Let him take over as early as possible.
He has actually allowed his teammates to take up the scoring cudgels in the first 2 sets, really.
Sign of a good player, and then will score when needed.
But scoring there quickly once again is Navy, and they're back up by 2.
Bangkola once again weaving his magic. More scoring options means more difficult for SAVOUGE to defend. 0 tempo play in the back set. Coramen this time taking over the spot of Castel.
Combination play, and it's Caritativo again.
Decoy move. Opening for Caritativo, who has scored 2 of the first 4 points.
Spin Doctors trailing by 1. That's long, and we are deadlocked now at 4.
Caritativo, 5 points heading to the third set. He had 4 points in the first set. 1 in set 2. Ngayon sinasabi mo na hindi masyado. Pero pag kinakailangan, masyado.
Sabi niya, ito na, third set. Para matapos na.
Which is always hard to do. Finish off an opponent. Was just trying to play the spoiler's role, by the way. Very tight.
And you said it in the second set, there is no more pressure on their squad, really. They can play free. That serve. Betko not going to clip the line. We are all square at 5.
Nice play. This time for Torres. Earlier it was Reyes who has been scoring time and again. How that shoot set.
And you've been looking for Torres even in set number 2.
Yes. He was chiefly responsible for that rally by SAVOUGE in their last game after dropping the first set to VNS.
That stays inside. And it's now a 2-point lead for SAVOUGE.
Gans Torres is the third leading scorer for SAVOUGE. 13 blocks heading to this game. Another chalk up another one for Giles. Jeffrey Torres was accounted for 57 points. Oh my. What broken play are you talking about?
And now it's Calado joining the scoring act. It's going to bring us to our first technical timeout of set number 3. SAVOUGE up 8-5.
Back inside the Paco Arena here in Manila for the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference 2025. Ronnie Anthony, an always efficient player, spin doctor Sherwin Caritativo is extra motivated today. According to the outside hitter, he dedicates this game today for his grandfather, who just passed away last Tuesday. He got the news even before delivering in their win against VNS last Friday, where he was the player of the game after adding 17 points. A bit emotional in our conversation earlier, he talked about how his lolo has always been one of his greatest supporters. But for now, he's channeling all his strength to win this one for his lolo, whom he will be visiting later today. Ronnie Anthony.
Thanks a lot, Denise. Well, condolences going out to him and the family as well. But
Yes.
right now, it's back to business. It's back to watching as we take a look at this possible net fault.
A 3 run here for SAVOUGE after being behind 2-0 to open up set 3.
Only the second challenge so far here this morning, coming from the Spin Doctors.
Wednesday morning after a stormy weekend.
They lost their earlier challenge on the overreaching call. Let's see what transpires here. As it stands, it's a 2-point lead still by SAVOUGE. Ooh.
Oh, good call. Bangkol almost scored his 4th point. The nails clipping the net perhaps.
Talk about eagle-eyed. Wow. Even I had to look at it twice.
Yes, I thought that it was a point for Bangkola. 9-3 run right now for SAVOUGE.
No support behind there for Calado.
Coverage was not at the right spot. Ambushed was Calado. This one, Ada was at his right side. Offensive block number 1 here for Navy here in set 3.
Trying to stay as close as they possibly can. That's not going to help them. Another missed serve from Rakiza. That's his third. Ten to 6.
Malabanan played briefly in set number 2. Returning here for Rakiza. What a set coming from Bangkola. De La Vega will not disappoint. Continues to play well here after his comeback. Missing out one full conference. The Open Conference right now. Showing
so you
us
can say that right now he's just rounding into form after being out for quite a while.
playing himself back into shape.
Smart play there.
And Greg Dolor was right there in front of Paglaon, who scores.
That's his first point here. Off that dump, and he knew exactly what he needed to do. Serve now for Paglaon. Sending that long. Marmeto back in.
10 service errors in total for SAVOUGE. Most of them coming in set 1, by the way.
That's right. They cleaned it up in the second set. Boy, the defense has been really tight here, first of all, especially at the net. There it is once again, but that block will go out though.
De La Vega with at least 3 points here in set number 3. Bangkola goes to De La Vega once more. His two best scoring options have been Dolor and De La Vega in this match.
Reyes making sure of that one.
He came off the bench, scored at least 3 points in the last match, but now definitely more productive. Talking about Angelo Reyes.
This is going to be the second ball in, ball out challenge for Coach George. He lost the first one earlier in the first set when he was questioning a serve.
22 years old from UE, out of Mandaluyong. Angelo Reyes. Played for Martelli Meats prior to joining SAVOUGE.
That's very similar to their ball in, ball out challenge a while ago. This one was well in.
Sa side yan, sa side.
Coach George, though, questioning what they were showing a while ago.
Sa side yan, sa side.
Well, he's being shown it's well in. That's why even I was surprised about that challenge. That was well inside. That wasn't even close to the line. Coach George wanted some airtime.
Probably wanted to stop the momentum of SAVOUGE.
Yeah, more than anything else. Well, it worked. They're going to pick up that point here and come to within 2.
And Dolor beats the double block. Caritativo will put his arms down, hands down. And Dolor will fire that killer shot.
Caritativo. Oh, that comes right back. That stays in. Past the block of Caritativo.
The rally is on for Malabanan, Dolor, and of course, Joven De La Vega. SAVOUGE needs to respond.
That comfortable lead is now just down to 1. And Reyes delivers another killer blow.
That connection has stood the tallest. Paglaon to Reyes on that quick play. Unstoppable so far. Restores a 2-point edge for SAVOUGE.
Reyes with the serve. Not the best of receptions there from Delor. One hand set, enough for Torres.
Reyes, Torres, Torres, Reyes. Difficult for the blockers to guard and defend.
Two quick points. A little bit more daylight now here.
You heard it.
That might have gone out.
Should have gone out. Instead, it hit Reyes, who tried to evade.
He was just trying to get out of the
Yes,
way.
that line shot by De La Vega.
14-12 is our tally here. Out on approach, but not going to work there. So Betco's attack percentage going slightly down.
Unstoppable in set 1. Suddenly, missing the mark in set 3.
Okay. Ang nangyayari, maganda yung receive nga natin. Huwag natin silang hayaan na humabol sa atin. Tayo yung nasa momentum, huwag tayong magbigay sa kanila ng momentum. Ha? Again, anong tinatarget nila sa atin ngayon? Opposite. Adjust tayo blockings, right timing. O, pag naiwan, pwede tayong dumepensa. Wala naman silang pinapalo na hard ball, eh. Bakit tayo takot na takot dumepensa sa likod? Ha? Adjust tayo.
Tapos tayo.
Sige, compose lang.
Some valid points being presented there by Coach Sydney. Let's see if our squad's able to adjust once again.
The lesser floor time, the better. If you can win in 3 sets. Save your energy. Stay away from injuries. And make sure that you're very strong. Or still very strong come your next match. Another quick play. Finish off by Torres as Lawrence Yaron. JC Narciso comes in for the situational sub. The 2-point lead here for SAVOUGE.
Trying to increase it even further before they get to the second technical timeout of the set.
Comparative numbers, Paglaon 15 excellent sets. Bangkola 13. Bangkola 4 points. Paglaon with 2.
That one through the block. Well, the ball actually hit the buzzer. And there was no challenge.
In their last game, De La Vega got tired in set number 3. But here so far, again, looks to be in better shape. Oh, definitely a miss. Tied at 15.
Exactly what Coach Sydney wanted to avoid. Trying to get to the technical timeout. Ahead is Navy. Free ball here. Easily put down. Once again, it's Torres. That's going to bring us here to our technical timeout. And up just by 1 is SAVOUGE.
You Yung team namin, very happy kasi mas mataas yung goal na ini-aim namin ngayon. Nag-focus kami, marami kami sinacrifice. And ako, I'm so happy kasi makakabalik ulit ako after kong na-injury last conference. And syempre, gusto ko rin makabawi and ma-redeem yung mga games na nawala.
Welcome back here to Manila at the Paco Center. Spikers turf action coming your way here. SAVOUGE up against Navy. SAVOUGE winning the first two sets, 25-14, 25-20. And now they're up by just one at 16-15. Trying to make quick work here of Navy, but Navy with a strong push here in set number 3. And we are deadlocked once again, courtesy of De La Vega.
Oblivious to the two blockers in front of him. And the back row defense, which has been rock solid for SAVOUGE all throughout this match, has also been penetrated by De La Vega.
We're gonna have a nice sprint to the finish here, but Calado says, I need to give the lead right back to my team.
Back-to-back double-digit gains for De La Vega. 13 points in their last loss, 12 points so far here, up to this point of set 3.
And more to come as far as Navy's concerned. That is not what they need. A poor reception there.
Will be received, and Calado, explosive as usual, 2-point edge at 18-16.
Yung mindset natin, re-receive tayo. Okay yung atake natin as long as may receive tayo. So, hingin mo ulit dito, dito ka pa rin. Hanggang pumupunta tayo, mag-stick lang tayo kung saan tayo pumupunta. Sagain nyo lang. Sagain nyo sa depensa, pabayaan yung spiker na pumatay dito. Kayo nasa baba, kunin nyo sa depensa. Yung nasa harap, kunin nyo sa block. Collective effort ang kailangan natin. Mag-effort tayo lahat. Ha? So, let's go.
Really just trying to stop the momentum here that has slightly been built up by SAVOUGE after being deadlocked at 16. They're now up by 2, and they've got the serve here. Almost an ace. That's a great dig.
And that's a miscue that will really hurt.
And now it's a 3-0 blast put together here by SAVOUGE. Paulina's going to check back in together with Saria. They need to stop the bleeding here. They cannot allow SAVOUGE to come up with another point, especially at this end. They needed that one, and
yes.
they got it.
No long rallies, just quick exchange of points.
Paulina delivers there, coming off that bench. Important serve coming up here for Navy.
Good save by Reyes.
And it sneaks in. And that lead has been cut down to 1. Here comes the last-minute charge put together by the Navy SEALs. Ooh, a challenge is going to be issued here.
At fault. Well, most of the time, coaches should also try to use this as an unofficial timeout, really.
Looked like that was clean, at least from our naked eye.
Try to also freeze the next server.
Let's see what the Sea Lions are going to get here from this challenge of SAVOUGE. At the moment, that lead down to just one. Ooh, it looks like there was. Huh? So they say no.
Remind lang sa players during service, kabay dito lang sa baba. Wala tayong tawag.
So that lead of SAVOUGE clipped. It's now down one. Navy needing another good serve here. Clipping the net once again. Quickly Reyes. His attack also hitting the net, but still dotting through.
Yes, made some winning plays here in the third set.
Jump set kasi, jump set kaya ano.
This comes after almost a double-digit game. Unheralded,
Kasi sa akin, hindi ko napansin na.
starting out today, helping SAVOUGE win the first two sets and still stay ahead up to this point. Up to the 2-point edge. Big game today for Reyes.
Nice dig, but not able to direct it properly.
That floor defense has been a concern for SAVOUGE here in the third set.
De La Vega checking back in. This is the final push of Navy here in set number 3. Trying to stay alive in this match.
No Betco inside, no Torres inside. It's Señoron who was in earlier. How it's Betco is in right now.
Reyes once again.
Will miss this time.
No, this time it goes long, as you said, Coach. We are deadlocked at 20.
Best set for the Navy Sea Lions.
Oh, for sure.
But SAVOUGE has also hurt themselves here in set number 3, perhaps feeling a little bit of the pressure. Too quiet for comfort. Too quiet for comfort.
Says it's about time.
That's 12 for Betco.
It's a 1-point lead here for SAVOUGE. It's an ace. And that's going to give them some breathing space.
When push comes to shove, the outstanding players raise their level a notch higher.
Actually,
Receive mo na to. Ikaw na. Itatas mo lang naman eh. Hindi. How many times na nangyayari yun? 4 na sunod-sunod. Di ba? Tulong lang tayo sa receive. Kaya natin umatake, matibay yung atake natin. Huwag lang tayo bibitaw service receive. At kahapon, puro yan ang ginawa ninyo. Huwag kayong bibitaw dyan. Okay? Huwag yung sayangin. Ngayon, sige, doon pa rin ang receive. Dito ang atake natin. Joven, ikaw ang bahala. Cover tayo kay Joven. Ha? Dulo ako. O ikaw dito, Greg. Oo. Ha? Okay, let's go.
visibly disappointed Coach George there. They were on the brink here of tying things up, and allowing that ace will give SAVOUGE a 2-point lead. Colado with the serve. That one, no question, was out.
Down to 1.
We're gonna have an exciting end here to the third set. Will it be the final set of the match, or will we go to set number 4? Delore, the captain, with the serve. Combination play, that goes out.
Can you believe it? Betko will miss again. Wide open. Miss hit. Tied at 22. That comes after an excellent pass from Caritativo.
He actually didn't need to angle it that wide.
Because nobody was in front of him.
Caritativo says, let's take the upper hand once again. 23-22.
Last 3 points have come from Betko, Alado, and Caritativo.
Reyes now with the serve. They cannot afford a missed serve here. That time just putting it in. That was dangerous.
Oops.
Wow. What a time for that to happen.
No protest here on the part of Navy.
It is now set point, match point, and Austria will come in as the designated server.
Can they close it out in 3?
What a time for the captain to come in. All important serve needed here.
Excellent pass by Delor. They save 1 of 2 set points.
And the Spin Doctors will sue for time here.
Sige, coach. Maganda pasa. Soy, ang pasa natin, gusto ko dito sa area na to. Para gina-jump set na ito. Sige, pasan namin, coach. Pwede rin dito. Dito na isa. Sa 4, coach. Dito banda. Sinong open na rin? Ako. Ha? Chow. Nag-open si nila. Basta may advantage pa rin. Ayaw!
Let's take a look at that
Ayun.
previous violation. Could they finish it here? That looks long.
Betko will miss again.
But they're going to challenge here. They're saying block touch. Navy saying no. Savage says yes. So we're going to go to the challenge. This is going to be a very important challenge here. Well, Betko was right there. He felt there was a touch.
Maybe he saw something that we did not.
That looked high.
Umamin daw, sabi natin ko sa Bush. Well, we'll never know until this decision has been made after the review. And that's clear. That's clear. Ironic, the final point has to be that way. But that is the only way because that is the correct call. And SAVOUGE will survive set 3 and will sweep the ABC Lions and will go up the leaderboard after this all-important win. They will go to win number 4 with only 1 game remaining in their playing schedule.
Savage take this in 3 straight sets. We'll be back to wrap things up in a bit.
Back inside the Paco Arena here in Manila for the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference 2025, the SAVOUGE Aesthetics Spin Doctors making a quick work out of the men of the PGJC Navy in 3 sets. Beside me is our best player of the game, Paige Paglaon, with 2 points and 17 excellent sets. Paige, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We've talked about you and your recovery, no? Sa ankle injury mo, and right now you're the best player of the game. Can you talk about this boost giving game today?
Yun po, nung gabi pa lang na-injured ako. Nag-rehab agad ako ng kasi gusto ko talaga makalaro agad. Gigil na gigil talaga ako. Gusto ko manalo, gusto ko makapasok ng semis. Kaya sinipag ako talaga yung rehab ko. Parang pagkain ko 3 times a day talaga, as in. Kaya mabilis yung recovery.
Welcome back, no? And next game for you is Signal. How are you looking forward to that match? Lalo na mas nagiging dikdikan na ngayon since gustong-gusto nyo ng semi-spot mo.
Yun po, knowing na Signal yan eh. Siyempre, pag-aaralan namin ng todo talaga yan. Hindi lang doble kundi triple pa kasi siyempre Signal talaga yan. Sa lahat ng kaya namin gagawin namin para at least maka 5 sets lang kami.
Thank you so much. And again, congratulations and welcome back, Paige Paglaon of the SAVOUGE Aesthetic Spin Doctors. Back to you, Ronnie and Anthony.
Thanks a lot, Denise. Well, we're going to take a look at the set 3 highlights and a fantastic performance there by the setter, leading his squad to a victory today, a victory that they really needed to stay in the top 4.
And the scores in the set belies the fact that Paglaon had to do a lot of hard work. In order for you to bring out the best in your attackers, you have to be precise with your playmaking. And in times when it's up and down, even for the talented spikers, he was a constant for them, making sure that they stayed ahead of the hard-fighting team of the Navy Sea Lions, who would not go down without pushing them, especially in the 3rd set. Could have been a 4-setter, they have extended to a 5-set match. But Paglaon made sure that in winning time, he made the right plays, made the right decisions, and eventually it showed as they were able to get past that 3rd set challenge coming from Navy, aided but by that one final challenge that went their way for point number 25 and a 3-set sweep of the Philippine Navy.
Right now, let's take a look at the numbers here of our 3rd set.
Definitely the best set for the Navy Sea Lions. And it almost was an extended match. But tied late in the set, giving up precious points was enough for SAVOUGE to escape the jaws of the Sea Lions, who wanted to submerge SAVOUGE, but eventually they were not able to stay afloat and they will go down their 5th straight loss. SAVOUGE climbs to 4-2, playing out their final game against Signal to wrap up their 7-game schedule here in the elimination phase.
Coming up next, it's going to be Alpha Insurance Protectors up against VNS. Stick around for that as we continue our quadruple bill. That's going to do it here for me and my partner, Coach Ronnie Magsanok, Anthony Stay, saying thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, take care. Have a good day ahead. God bless.